Alright, so we've measured the total width of the bathtub and we've gotten a measurement of 31 inches. So we've got 31 inches laid out. Double check, measure twice, cut once. We got 31. So we start there. And the beauty of these chop saws is you can set them down directly where it's going to go. So we only need this one board that will stretch the whole distance of the bathtub and rest on either side of it. There it is. Really basic, really simple build for today, okay? So now, basically the components we want to have for this is we want some candles offset to the left. We're going to cut a little channel in the middle here so that you can rest your smartphone there. So while you're soaking in a nice bath, you can watch a show. And then off to the right side, we're going to have a little slot cut in here to accept a stemmed wine glass. Start with that center point and we will work out from the center as to where the orientation for the other items is going to be. So, just because I lay it out this way doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, because these candles I want to have a kind of offset to the side, and then the slot for the wine glass is going to be offset to the right side. So now I can use this center point to mark out where exactly I want to lay those out. So even though they're not even and centered in the middle of the project, I can use that center point in relation to where these other measurements are going to fall. Alright, so I've laid out where I want my candles to fall. That's the center point for the candles. Working off of my center line I established in the beginning, I came 2 inches from the edge of the board up to where I want the little valley for the cell phone to rest. And then I've measured the channel for the stem wine glass to slide in that channel and then be able to hold it. Okay, so I've marked out where I want to lay everything out. Step one, I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes for the candles. Now there's a little recess in here where that candle can sit and it won't rock out. Okay, so now I want to cut the slit here that will allow the stem for the wine glass to sit in. So what I want to do is start up top with this curve, and I'll use the Forstner bit to be able to do that, and then cut the rest out with the bandsaw. Okay, so we got the Forstner bit, cut the hole through, and now we'll use the bandsaw to complete the channel. Okay, so now that's all that's left is we want to run the channel for the cell phone holder. So I have it laid out. right there, which is about a 1/2 inch shy of center. Set up my edge guide on my router, and let's make the cut. We have our recesses drilled for the candles. We have our slot for our cell phone, and then we have the groove cut into for the wine glass to fit. So now I just want to put a nice little profile on the edges and just round them over to make it nice to the touch. Okay, so all we did was take a little round over, smooth the edges out so it's not such a harsh transition. So now just a final sanding and smooth it out, and we'll be ready to stain. So now we've got the stain applied. I chose a color that wasn't very dark so that you can still see all the natural accents in the wood. It does, however, make the grooves and channels pop a little bit better. So now, because this is going to go in the bathtub, I want to coat it with a spar urethane to make it water resistant. But first, we're going to put the initials of the person who it's for and place them on here. So I'm going to create a stencil, then copy that out, transfer it to this piece of wood, paint them in, and then we're going to put the spar urethane on top of everything to seal it up nicely so it'll last for years and years. Okay, so now what we want to do to transfer, like I've just simply gone into my word processor, found a font that I liked and made it thick enough to be recognizable. Kind of faintly struck a center line, and I'll use carbon paper to transfer the font. But I have a very clear outline of the initials that are centered on the piece. So I've chosen to go with a very thick paint plus primer product for this so that it'll adhere to the stain a little bit better. Alright, so at this point we got the letters done, and now all I want to do is try to make this piece of wood a little more water resistant. So I'd given it a good coat of spar urethane, and that way it'll be a lot more resistant to the water because it's going to live around and on a bathtub. We don't want the water to damage the wood and make it begin to warp over time and not sit flush on the edges of the tub. So put a thin coat of spar urethane on there like I said, and then we're just going to let that dry for up to 4 hours. We'll probably let that dry throughout the day, and then tomorrow come back, do one more good thick coat of spar urethane, let it dry, and that should be it for this project.